Hey everyone, Chaos Giga here, and welcome to Eco. Unfortunately, I'm going to apologize first off. This is my family server that I'm in right now because the other server that I was actually playing in with a bunch of people that were old and new to me as friends, basically that server is gone. So the person who owned that server, with all their rights to them, they didn't want to continue using the server or continue supporting the server, so they decided to not update it on this last update, and so it is no more. So this is what I have. I'm just going to stick with my family server for now. I might do a community server later in the future, but right now I really want to wait until we actually have this game out of beta. I don't. This game has been in beta since 2018, so I'm kind of on the fence on making a community server right now, especially with all the bugs they still haven't worked out with like the government, the taxes, and the law systems. And we still have a lot of bugs where trucks and vehicles and stuff like that just randomly flip over and stuff like that. So we have to like break them and reset them back up. Anyway, I will do a tour of this server a little bit after I get done doing what I wanted to do originally, which was go over. Let's get in the first person here real quick. I wanted to go over tiers of buildings and what they are actually needed for. So here is a thing called tier. It's room info is what it'll be under. Basically, tier 1 is what you will need for like most of your first starting stuff. So like when you first start the game, you're probably going to make everything out of wood. So you'll make a wooden house or whatever, and that's what you'll need for your research table to get your skill books. As you can see, I already have all the skills unlocked. I am max level. That is because we are on a family server. We basically treat this as a creative server, if you will. So we have everything unlocked to us. The only thing we actually have to do is actually have to make food and create everything. We start out with all the skills and we're max level, so we don't have to worry about leveling up anymore and all that stuff. Um, so there's that. Basically, we just build things. We just create stuff. We go and mine and farm and all that stuff, and we still have to do all that stuff. We still have to eat and all that stuff, but we don't have to worry about all the skill things, and we don't have to worry about the meteor either. There's no meteor in this world. But basically, the tier system is set up for tables and stuff like that. So, like, for instance, we got the butchery table here. This requires a tier 1 because it's a 0.8. And we have a 1.99 in this room. Now, there's a tier 2 items, like the brick oven or the bakery oven here. This is a tier 2, which is actually 1.8. So that way you could have a little bit lower. So that way, if you didn't have like a tier 2 door or something like that, it wouldn't going to mess up your tier 2 item. But this item is considered a tier 2 item. So there is up to tier 3 on certain items right now. I think they will be working on tier 4 sometime in the future, probably way out in the future, to be honest. But brick is basically your tier 2 item of choice to use to build a tier 2 building. I think there's another one too. I think it's granite or Modard stuff. So like Modard granite, Modard sandstone, something like that. But this right here is basically the farmhouse here. And I just wanted to start out with this because this right here is a brick building. I will go over to my tier 3 building. I can't take my truck right now because I need that to stay here because it's got the cotton in it. It's actually making cotton thread right now as we speak. And a bunch of cotton seeds, which I don't know what I'm going to do with all those. Probably just going to dump those somewhere because we don't really need them. We just need the cotton thread. Hopefully they dumb down how many cotton seeds we get from that in the future. Well, anyway, I'm going to pause the video and then I'll come back where I am at my area because over there is my brother's area and that storage stuff is mostly my brother's, except for the cactus storage. That's the fuel for the steam tractor and trucks and all that stuff. All right, here we are. We're at my area. This is, well, I call that building over there, the brick building over there, the machine shop with my blast furnaces and stuff on top. Over here is my tier 3 building, which I call the factory because it looks exactly like a factory building. It's got the corrugated steel. This, as you can see, is actually straight up a 3.0 building because I used everything tier 3. I didn't use a tier 1 door or anything on it, so that way it would keep its tier 3 status. And all the stuff in here, inside here, is tier 3 items. Requires, I believe, 2.8 minimum. Yeah, so 2.8 right there. So they do that on purpose just in case you don't have the tier 3 doors or a tier 3 door of some kind on the building, so it might drop the tier by a little bit, like 0.1 or something like that. So it makes sense that they do that. But as you can see, the importance of the tier of the building is a basic requirement for a lot of the things you're going to make at the tables or anvils or whatever. But basically, everything starts from the work table, and you go from there to make a research table where you can make the skill books at. And the skill books take a lot of requirements, such as a lot of wood, uh, a lot of rock. So you have to work hand in hand, collaborating together at the very beginning of the game just to get all the skills unlocked, and then get those respective skills. And my truck is on its side again. God, I hate this. This is the one of the glitches I'm talking about. I get tired of the coming logging in, and my Steam truck is rolled over or some crap like that. But it's whatever. I mean, I'll just fix it some other time. But anyway, that's just a basic explanation on the tiers of buildings. The other thing I wanted to explain about this game that you might be interested in, or just you want to know. By the way, that's all my gold and copper bars that I have right now. I'm trying to move everything out of the way because I'm getting ready to redo this. So guys, enjoy this old building here, this old machine shop, and the way I have this all set up over here, because eventually this is all going to be in a new tier 4 factory building made of flat steel. So I'm going to have all this indoors. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was the two different types of power. So we have mechanical power and we have electrical power. Obviously, electrical power is more in-game because it's more clean, more efficient. So that's an electrical water pump, for instance, and it's getting its energy from this and the new turbine windmills, or whatever they're called, water turbines or wind turbines. That's it, wind turbines. So basically, this right here is giving off 750 watts of power, electrical power. This is a solar panel, so it's putting out electrical power. Mechanical power is actually like the water wheels and the wind wheels, if you will. I don't think we have any of the wind wheels left because they take up way too much space. Water wheels are easy. You can basically place them anywhere. You can actually make this look better by putting them in water, so that way they actually look like they're being pushed by the river and stuff, which is cool. But at the same time, you want to put these buildings up away from water, especially when you got blast furnaces and stuff, because you don't want them to pollute the water, obviously. So mechanical power is different than electrical power. So if something says, like you have a table or something that says it requires 100 watts of electrical power, having 100 watts of mechanical power is not going to help you. You have to have electrical power for things that require electrical power. And just like with mechanical things, you need mechanical power. So like, for instance, I believe this is a bad one because the assembly line actually doesn't take anything. It's this one right here, isn't it? Yes, power. Requires 200 watts when operating of mechanical power. So when you see mechanical, that requires you to have a water wheel or a windmill or whatever the heck that's called. The other electrical thing, which is actually the cheapest one to make in my opinion, is the wind turbine, which generates 1,000 watts of electrical power, and you can actually have a power grid that goes pretty far. I literally have over 6,000 watts of power all the way to over there from all the way over at my other building here. So yeah, right over there. That's where all my wind turbines are at. And I have 1, 2 on the top of the building. So regardless, all 6,750 watts is actually able to reach on both sides here. This right here is the pool where it's sucking up the water with my mechanical pump for the blast furnaces, and this is also where the filter, which is a very important item to have on anything that can pollute with sewage. It's putting out clean water whenever it's doing that, and then making compost, which I wish they'd have more ways for us to get rid of compost other than fertilizer. Like, even with making it into fertilizer, it's so hard to get rid of because the fact that it takes a half of a compost with a half of a pulp filler fertilizer to make compost fertilizer. So I really can't get rid of all that fast enough. Maybe they'll put it to where we can actually put that on the ground and it actually turns back into dirt. I'm hoping that's a thing in the future. It might even be a thing now. I don't know. So if you guys know anything about the compost in this game, please let me know because the wiki is not very helpful. It's not very helpful at all. So this right here, basically right now, is my base and my home. I don't really have a place built for a house yet. I'm gonna plan on doing that after I get done building this new factory I want to build. I want to have all this stuff inside and set up better to where everything connects together and gets more efficient by me being able to activate all the way from the crushers to the well, the sorters, if you will. So basically these things that make the concentrate. So I want to be able to crush it, make concentrate, and use the blast furnaces all in one go. And to do that, I need them all in the same area. So I'll put the blast furnaces back on the roof of this new building, which is going to be 50 by 25. It's going to be a large, large building with all those still in the place that they're at. So might have a little bit different than this because the wood pylons here are just too close for me to put these all close together. I'd like to put these side by side if I can, so they're up in the same proximity and can reach every single one of these steel containers. By the way, the steel containers and the other regular shipping containers, the smaller ones, are a mod. And mods are actually pretty easy on this game when you make a server. It literally has a mod tab on the server creation where you can just select the mods you want to use. This is a very small team working on this game. I really can't wait to see what else they come up with. I'm still wanting to see. I still want to see steam-powered locomotives. I want to see trains in the game. It'd be interesting to see how much we were polluting back in the day with trains. I'm sure they were like the biggest polluters of all back in the day. I'm not even sure, to be honest. It's just really fun to know and see how pollution actually does work and what we measure it with. As a matter of fact, I'll go up to the blast furnaces here real quick, and I'll show you basically where it shows you uh, how much you're polluting and stuff. And then I'll also show you on the map stuff, things about that as well. So we go into one of the blast furnaces, we go into status. Here it lists CO2 emissions from the blast furnace, time you spent operating this blast furnace until I break it. If I break it, that resets it basically. It starts from 0 again, I believe. Gives you the total CO2 sources and sinks, and updates every 10 minutes. That's real time. CO2 effects. So for however much the sea level will rise and the temperature rises due to how much pollution's in the atmosphere. Obviously, we cannot pollute high enough, and we're actually having problems keeping up with the plant life. The trees and stuff are growing like way too fast, and I've noticed that in the other servers that I've been in. Plant life, if you don't have too many people on your server, your plant life is going to eventually just outdo everything that you try to do for pollution-wise. And yeah, so it's basically impossible for a family of 4 people, so my brother, my mother, and my stepfather, to actually do enough like pollution in the atmosphere, like air pollution or ground pollution, to actually do anything to this planet that we've got formed. Because literally, plant life is growing so fast and keeps constantly replanting itself. So like trees and saplings and stuff, they'll always appear whenever you harvest trees, and you can also plant your own. So it just, yeah, it's amazing. We can't keep up with it. The thing on the map is we just go right down here, and we can go to world layers, environment data, and we go to pollution. And now we can check on air pollution. I don't know if Rusty's been doing anything. No, he hasn't. I noticed he's doing a new building over here. It's a large building. But yeah, the next thing I want to do for another video is when I'm building my factory, I'm going to do that with my new microphone, if you will, because I want to have better sound clarity. I don't want to have this vice grip on my head either. But I'm going to go through and I'll do a time lapse basically with portions of me talking and just showing what things look like when you try to place them down and how the construction works on this. So leave a comment down below or a like if you guys are interested in that, because I definitely do want to do a video. Regardless, I'm going to do a video on the construction and how it works on this game. It's actually pretty simple, but the sky's the limit with construction on this game, and that's one thing I like about it. It kind of reminds me of a better version of Minecraft, if you will. It's not so blocky and stuff. But yeah, we can click on air pollution. We can check on ground pollution. We can also check on debris to see if somebody's been harvesting trees or something and left some of the rubbish on the ground, like right over there. Rusty, what have you been doing? I'm gonna have to get on to you. Over here. Yeah. So that means he's got brush from trees he's harvested that's still on the ground, which we've been having issues with ever since the update. We cannot shift and drag the same item into storages right now, so that is a major issue. The other thing is that we've been having a lot of lag issues with the servers, where if you've been playing for like 2 or 3 hours and you're doing some farming of trees or whatever, it won't register, I guess, the junk that just falls to the ground. And if you don't refresh your game, you'll never see it. So, like, for instance, today when I was doing my wheat field, I came over and I noticed that some of my wheat was destroyed and there was some brush on it from one of the trees. I need to eat something. My character is running sluggish now. But yeah, there's a bunch of crud on the ground over here, and it killed some of my wheat. And I asked Rusty about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I did a lot of tree farming over at my tree farm, which is on the other side of the river. I don't know how it got way over here, but it's possible because of game lag." So we've been having a lot of issues, but I mean, still, this game is in beta. It's still awesome, regardless, to me, just because of all the building designs we can come up with. Like this right here, this is just a beginning farm. Well, farm slash bakery design for me. I plan on building this up a few more stories high just to be able to like move stuff up towards the oven and have more storage space for the oven, because I'm already out of space for like storing all the food that I've made already. I think we have enough food to last us for like probably a month or two, like a real life month or two, even with all the tasks that we do right now. Um, but yeah, that's basically the stuff I wanted to cover in the game. If there's any questions on this game, please let me know. Maybe I could show you, but I do plan on making a video showing how easy the construction is in this game and just how well inventive you can be, how creative you can be with the construction. And basically all you need is a hammer. Any type of hammer will do. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one on Eco. Till then, just let me know down below if you have any questions. And until then, peace out.